Happy day, friends. This is the weekly review for the week of April 8th through April 14th. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. It has been a couple of weeks since I've recorded a weekly review. I went through a fasting process. I did an 11-day fast, and during that time, I didn't really feel called to record as much content. And so here I am. I'm back with a new weekly review, and this one has me a little bit emotional. And so I'm excited to share, and I think I'm really just I feel before I started recording, I was meditating and I was praying as I always do, and I just felt an immense amount of gratitude for being able to just serve as a vessel in this way. And it's just an honor and a privilege. And so you're here, you're subscribed to the channel, you're receiving what it is that I share here. And I'm just grateful to you for being here. I'm grateful to you for showing up. I'm grateful to you for doing the work in your own life, right? Because as I always say every week, because I think it's so important to emphasize that as you are doing the work in your personal life, the world is changing. The world is changing because of the work that you are doing, because of the change that you are cultivating within yourself, because of the transformation that is occurring in your personal life. The world is being transformed as a byproduct. And so thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for doing the work, even whenever it's uncomfortable, even when it's chaotic, even when you're an emotional mess. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for doing the work. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Macy LaShawn Sledge, and my purpose for being here is to encourage, empower, and uplift anyone who is willing to be present and listen, anyone who is showing up and doing the work in their own lives, and that must be you because you're here. So thank you. All right, so let's get into it. This is the weekly review for April 8th through April 14th. We are going to start, of course, by taking a couple of deep breaths just to center ourselves, to open ourselves up so that we can be available to receive what Spirit has for us to receive. So if you feel comfortable, close your eyes. Begin to notice the stillness, the quiet. Begin to observe your energy, the energy of the room that you are in. Begin to notice your breath. And we'll take a deep breath in together. Sighing it out through the mouth. Deep breath in. And sigh it out. Deep breath in. Sigh it out. Deep breath in. And sigh it out. Returning back to your normal breathing pattern. Gentle breaths in and out through your nose. Just observing and noticing how you feel. And when you're ready, opening your eyes. So this week, what did you embody? What did you integrate as you move throughout this week? So as you may remember from the previous weekly review that I did, I stated that I am approaching the weekly reviews from a futuristic point of view. And so the way that it's conveyed as it's coming through me is we're looking back on this week, okay? A future version of yourself is looking back on the week of April 8th and April 14th and is shedding light on what it is that you embodied, what it is that you integrated, the change that you experienced as you move throughout that week. Okay? And so the first thing that I was shown that you embodied as you move throughout this week is self-respect. Okay, you really begin to embody self-respect. Okay, and this self-respect is more of it. So let's start here. So this self-respect and embodying self-respect, part of this means that you begin to truly listen to yourself. Okay, and whenever we say self-respect, we don't necessarily mean respecting your character, respecting, I am Macy in this world, not necessarily respecting Macy, but tuning in, observing, witnessing your true nature, your God essence, your divinity, okay, and embodying a deep reverence for that aspect of yourself, okay? Embodying a deep reverence for that aspect of yourself, and in embodying a deep reverence for that aspect of yourself, then as a byproduct, you experience self-respect, right? You begin to respect your character. You begin to have more respect for your body as the vessel and tool that it is, because your body is the carrier for this essence, for the essence of who you are. And so you begin to have more respect for your body, and that's what is occurring for you as you move throughout this week. Is you're looking in the mirror and you're looking beyond the physical aspect of yourself and what you can see, and you're looking deep within yourself, and you're seeing and you're feeling and you're noticing and you're witnessing that essence, the essence of who you are, and you're allowing that to change how you treat yourself. You're allowing that to change how you treat yourself, okay? And I also wrote in embodying self-respect, like I was saying, this is more of you having a deep reverence for your God essence, okay? It's more of a lifting up. It's more of you begin to really lift up and exalt that aspect of yourself above all else. Right? Because if you're familiar with what I share, then you know that I tend to talk about how that aspect of yourself is eternal. That aspect of yourself never dies. But this body will fade away. This body will die. But the essence of who you are, your true nature, your God essence, will live on. And so as you were moving throughout this week, you began to truly exalt and lift up that aspect of yourself. Okay? And so that's the first thing that I was shown that you begin to embody is self-respect. But this reverence, this exalting, this lifting up of your divine essence comes first, and then as a result, you're having more respect for your body. You're having more respect for your mind. Okay? And for your body, you're treating yourself differently. You're speaking to yourself differently. The thoughts, okay, that you have about yourself change, because now they're being fueled from this understanding of who you truly are. And you're seeing yourself through that lens. Okay, some affirmations that I wrote down that you could work with to go along with to help you ground into, okay, to help you exalt and lift up this aspect of yourself. I am a work of art. You are a work of art. Okay, I am a physical manifestation of the greatest power in this world. I am a true reflection of the divine and holy God. I am a true reflection of the most divine and holy God. Okay, those are some affirmations that you can work with, right? This isn't just about you, and this goes into what you integrated as you move throughout this week. Okay, this isn't just about you affirming yourself. Okay, this is going beyond affirmations. This is going beyond affirming yourself. Okay, again, it's a lifting up, it's an exalting that you are doing. It's not just affirming, it's exalting. It's seeing yourself, your true nature, and exalting this aspect of yourself. Okay, and so it goes into what did you integrate as you move throughout this week? You integrated self-worship and self-praise. Okay, again, not necessarily worshiping and praising this temporary, this physical aspect of yourself, not necessarily worshiping and praising the character that you are, but tuning in, noticing, witnessing your God essence and worshiping, praising that aspect of yourself, and noticing as you do that, as you're doing that, noticing how that shifts your internal narrative, okay? Noticing and observing and witnessing how that shifts your internal narrative, how that changes the perspective that you've been holding on to about yourself. Because now, again, you're seeing yourself through a different lens. You're looking through the lens, through God's lens, right? You're looking at yourself through God's eyes instead of through your character's eyes, right? So you're integrating self-worship, you're integrating self-praise, all right? Okay, as a byproduct of embodying self-respect, you integrated more self-control. Okay, you integrated more self-control. So because you're now looking at yourself through a different set of eyes, through a more internal set of eyes, and you're exalting yourself, you're lifting yourself up, you're embodying more self-respect, you integrated self-control as a result, as a byproduct of this self-respect, right? Because now you know, because you're seeing yourself through a new lens, you know, you understand that there's no reason for you to overindulge in the things that you are overindulging in order to satisfy certain cravings, or in order to stuff away and push away the feelings that you didn't want to feel. Because you also understand that those feelings that you were stuffing away, that you were pushing away, they're just calling you to go deeper within yourself. They're guiding you deeper into yourself. They're trying to help you see yourself in a different light, right? And so self-control, so whatever that, I don't want to call it a guilty pleasure, because guilty pleasures can be fun and exciting, right? Guilty pleasures can be, those aren't things that we necessarily overindulge in, but the overindulging and the impulsivity behind certain behaviors, behind certain cravings, or things that we use to feed ourselves, again, in order to cope, or in order to push away certain feelings. You're practicing self-control because you know, you recognize because you're looking at yourself through this new lens, and because you're exalting and lifting up the essence of who you are, you're recognizing that the essence of who you are is not what is carrying the heavy feelings, but your character is carrying the heavy feelings. And the essence of who you are is creating the space for you to surrender those things, to let them go, so that you can be liberated, so that you can be free, so that you can relax. Okay, you no longer have to overindulge, because now you're not focused on feeding the character. You're more focused on tuning into the essence of who you are. You're more focused on listening, on exalting and lifting up the essence of who you are, which needs for nothing, which wants for nothing, which is just delighted. I'm not even going to say that right now because, okay. So integrating self-worship and self-praise. I've talked about this before, but embodying your sovereignty, as you're seeing the true essence, your true nature, as you're seeing the essence of who you are, you're beginning to embody your sovereignty. Okay? You're beginning to embody your sovereignty, which then means you're integrating this inner authority that you have to rule your life, to create your life in a way that aligns with you, okay? Because you're putting your God essence first. So in integrating your authority, that means that you're putting your God essence first. So in that, whenever it comes to integrating your authority in this relationship you have with yourself, it means that when that voice speaks to you, that inner voice is the authoritative figure in your life. Your God essence is the authoritative figure in your life. And when that voice speaks to you, you integrate your authority by listening and putting what that inner voice is saying first, over the impulsive thoughts, over the cravings, over the desire to simply just cope, right? There's that phrase, mind over matter. But now we're putting mindfulness over mind. Mindfulness over mind, right? And mindfulness is more of you being aware of what that inner voice is saying, of how that inner voice is guiding you. So we're being more mindful of that voice and putting our mind and acting mindfully, living mindfully, even over what our mind is saying. So it's mindfulness over mind. All right. And what are we being mindful of? We're being mindful of our inner authority and how it's guiding us. Right? I also wrote at the last minute, because I just felt it coming through, that as you are moving throughout this week, you begin to embody. Yeah. Because your God essence, the eternal aspect of yourself, carries no burdens. Okay, carries no burdens. And yes, you are in this world and you're human, and we have our human experiences, right? That we have, and we feel things, and we have to sit with those feelings and witness them and allow them to teach us and guide us, right? But at the same time, we're putting this inner authority first. We're putting our God essence first, right? And in doing so, as a result, you begin to embody a more delightful disposition. You begin to embody a more delightful disposition, right? Because you're delighting in the fact that you are here, that you are alive, that this power is guiding you and moving in your life, creating change and miracles on your behalf. You begin to really delight in that. You begin to find delight. You begin to delight in the fact that you are a physical manifestation of the greatest power in this world. You begin to delight in the fact that you are a true reflection of the most divine and holy God. And so as you're moving throughout this week, you really begin to embody a more delightful disposition, right? So that means you're just walking around smiling for no reason, right? Even there could be a beautiful rose bush in front of you and you're just smiling, and somebody comes up to you and they think you're smiling because of the lovely rose bush, but you're just smiling simply because you're delighting in this power, this God, in your own God essence. And yes, when you look at the rose bush, you're able to find joy in just in simply observing and looking at the rose bush, because you understand that the rose bush is also a true reflection of the most divine and holy God, right? Which means that that rose bush is a reflection of you. And then the last thing is you begin to embody a more this creative nature that you were born with, that you possess, okay? And in my notes with that, I wrote that as you were moving throughout this week, you found more ways to create magic and joy right where you are. So a lot of times the narrative in our world is so futuristic, in the sense of we are always trying to figure out how we can enjoy life out there instead of enjoying life right here, instead of finding creative ways, instead of finding ways to create magic and to create more joy right where we are. And so as you're moving throughout this week, your creative nature is waking up, is flowing, right? You're not creating magic and joy in huge, gigantic ways, but just in small ways, right? Whether it's learning how to cook a new meal or whatever, it could be anything. Allow your spirit to show you. Okay, your spirit will show you as you're moving throughout this week, because again, this is a futuristic weekly review. And so we're looking at this from a futuristic point of view, and your creative nature was initiated. You begin to really embody your creative nature so that you could create magic and joy right where you are in the now moment, instead of waiting and anticipating for things to occur in the future. You're allowing the magic and joy to unfold right here, right now, regardless of what's happening in the world, regardless of the chaos that you may be experiencing in your own life. You have the awareness that all of that is temporary. And so you're allowing yourself to still create the magic and joy right here, right now, where you are. All right. So that is the weekly review for the week of April 8th through April 14th. Again, I'm excited for you. I'm grateful for you. Let me know in the comments your thoughts, how this resonates for you. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comments. And just if you're here and you're listening to this, that means that you're open. That means that you're ready. That means that you're willing, right, to receive as you're moving throughout this next week, to receive what was and to integrate what was shared here. Again, you've already embodied it. You've already integrated it. You still have free will. You still have a choice. The responsibility for you as you're moving throughout this week is to be open, to be available, okay, to surrender. That's your responsibility, because you know what it is that this future version of yourself has embodied, has integrated, and your only responsibility is to be open, to be available, and to surrender, right? So that the process can unfold in the way that the process is going to unfold, right? It's not resisting the process and how it's unfolding. It's surrendering to the process, to the unfolding of the process, okay? It's trusting the flow of the process, all right? So I love you very much. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for tuning in. Again, thank you for showing up and doing the work, because the world is changing. The world is changing because of what you are doing in your personal life to grow, expand, and evolve. And I love and appreciate you for that so much. I'll see you next time.